Hello, and welcome to the Taco King Art Channel. This is the first video about a series that I'm putting together with my niece and nephew, and it's called Taco King. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck is Taco King? And I know I sound like I'm coming out of left field, and I'm with you there. But essentially, this channel is about discovering and putting together a storyline and artwork for a comic series. So this channel is going to require you to temporarily suspend your sense of reality, because all of this is pretty much from imagination. So this is the main character of that series, and his real name is Darren, but he is also affectionately known as Taco King. But who is Taco King? Well, you can see that he's shaped like a taco and he's holding a taco. And this is because Darren's expertise lies in cooking, and he happens to be the head chef and owner of the Taco King restaurant. So he's very passionate about cooking and creating food and making tacos. So let me tell you a little bit about this character. I know he lives in the city not far from where he works, and he takes public transportation to his job every day. And because he is the owner of the Taco King restaurant, he makes a pretty good living and he's relatively well off. He lives in a penthouse suite of a high-rise building called the number 9 Ellington House in an area of the city that doesn't have a name yet. So I need to name his neighborhood and I need to name his city. All the things that I'm saying right now, these are all working concepts, by the way, so I'm kind of reserving the right to change them depending on the storyline and if it works for the storyline, but I'll be coming up with that as I go. As far as Darren's personality, I know that he's passionate about being a chef, so he has drive and he has determination, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's confident. It could just mean that he's confident in the things that he knows how to do, and that's cooking and running a business. But what if he's not confident, or he shies away from the things that are outside of his comfort zone? I think that could make for some pretty interesting conflicts. Maybe he has anxiety in situations that he's not familiar with, or that he deems outside of his knowledge base. I also know that Darren is about 21 years old and he's single, so he's in the prime of his life and he's enthusiastic, but he's still at that age where he doesn't know everything and he still makes a lot of mistakes, and he's constantly learning and trying to be the best chef in the restaurant district of his city. So he's not jaded by society just yet. I know that Darren is also interested in friendships and dating, but he can be fairly awkward in these situations, mainly because he doesn't have much life experience yet. He's pretty young. As far as hobbies, I wrote down that he likes spending time with his pet piñata. I know that sounds weird, but I will be explaining that in a later video. He also likes gym shoes a lot, and some people like to call them sneakers or kicks, but in general, Darren is a sneakerhead. So as I said before, this channel is about creating a comic series. So we'll be concentrating mostly on creating imaginary characters and coming up with storylines for those characters, but we're also going to be concentrating on art and drawing and talking a little bit about art supplies and creativity in general. I'm also going to be using a lot of different art mediums, because partly it's about trying out art supplies and testing them out to see how they do, but I also think it's more satisfying to see art channels where people aren't always drawing on the iPad. That's not to say that I'm not going to be using the iPad, because I think I use the iPad and a paper. And when I'm drawing, I actually will switch between the two a lot now. We're also going to be learning a lot about creating a comic book together. and that would be the ultimate goal, is putting a series of comic pages together and combining them into some kind of book, and preferably that would be a comic book. The thing that would be really cool is putting together a graphic novel, but those are pretty hefty, and that's a lot of pages, and I can't promise that quite yet, but I do think a comic book is doable. Those are roughly around 32 pages, some more, some less, but in general I think it's pretty achievable. And we also might experiment a little bit with simple animation using Procreate. Maybe we can create some animated GIFs and animated Instagram posts. This is not necessarily a how-to channel because I don't know the best way to do some of the things we're going to do. I am going to be learning and relearning as we go along. I am sure I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes along the way. In fact, I feel a bit rusty, which is partly my reason for creating this channel. So this is more of a join me on my journey, and maybe we'll learn something together and inspire each other. And that's the type of channel this is going to be. The truth is, I used to draw a lot more, but for a long time I just stopped drawing altogether, mostly because I was busy pursuing other goals in life. But in my spare time I would like to concentrate on drawing more, because I notice that when I do draw I feel more balanced and I feel happier, and it's also very relaxing and I feel like I've accomplished something. I don't think we're going to be drawing anything too realistic on this channel, like portraits or landscapes or bowls of fruit or flowers. Not to knock those things, I think that's all great subject matter for drawing, and that was a lot of what I used to draw back in art school, but this isn't really about perfect shading or realistic renditions of objects. This is more about telling a good story with compelling characters. The truth is, I really have no desire to draw anything that exists in reality right now. I just feel like drawing things that are in my head, so mostly characters like this. I want to draw something that's cute and fun and light and fairly simple. And I want them to be fairly simple because if I'm going to be creating storylines around a set of characters, then I'm going to be drawing them over and over again. So if you're interested in cartoons, then you'll probably like this channel. And if this series goes well and you guys like it, maybe I can start a Patreon page about it. And then maybe I could release the comics through Patreon and we could do stickers and coloring pages. But I'm not going to do Patreon right at this moment because I think this channel could totally fail. But I would like to share the journey with you guys because I think it will be more interesting and engaging, and maybe you guys will hold me accountable to keep me drawing. Essentially, you, the audience, are going to be my accountability buddy. If you guys are interested in seeing all the artwork, then please subscribe to this channel, but you can also follow Taco King on Instagram because that's where I'm going to be putting the finished artwork. I know Instagram changed its algorithm recently to concentrate on video, but these are going to be still images, so I don't know what's going to happen there, but they are going up on Instagram for the time being. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. I hope you join me on this journey. And now let's go to the reveal.